Alright guys, minus 25. The machine wouldn't start after sitting here for a month. So, as usual, we boosted it. Seems to be running good now. The plan for today is to take our trail cameras, go back to the creepy corner and set them up. Trying to film some of the trail for you guys as we go along, set up the cameras. There isn't enough snow for the snow machine on this trail yet, and we are midway through January. There's just just enough to make it around the trail, but you still feel every log, stump, stick. What a weird year. Hopefully that starts. So we'll put the first one right here, pointing at the granite rock, and we can see the trail as well. I'm not sure where it, maybe, I don't know, maybe put the other one on the trail pointing back up to the rock that way. Well, the reason I don't think I'm going to put a camera up on the granite itself is because we need something to trigger the camera, which are going to be the animals which are going to be walking on this trail. And my hope is not that something paranormal trips this camera, but that an animal does, and as it's recording its minute-and-a-half duration, we'll get something strange in the background after the fox runs by or the deer. That has worked in the past. We have gotten strange howls and noises, so we do record audio as well. And I think that's a more realistic approach, is to have an animal trigger the cameras and capture something inadvertently after that happens. So the second camera view is pointing back up the trail towards the big rock from this end. You ready to go? If this thing starts, come here. Tell everybody what today is. Come here. It's your birthday. You're 3 today. Goofball. I'm not sure what's going on. The camera's going bonkers. It's cycling through all the menus, and I've only been outside 2 minutes. It's very cold. -30 again today, but the camera's only been out here not long enough. I wouldn't have thought to start screwing up. Weird. I'll have to keep an eye on it. Today is Gage's birthday, so happy birthday to Gage. And we're going to collect, there are 4 more trail cameras out here within walking distance, you know, half an hour, 40 minutes that I'm going to collect. So we'll put any cool clips we get there, we'll throw them in this video. So for the first time ever yesterday, you can see 4-wheeler tracks here coming through my backyard. I was up on the deck and I heard a snow machine, or what I thought was a snow machine, coming through the trail. I thought it was Tom. And some kids came through my backyard on a snow machine and a 4-wheeler. Because the swamp is frozen back here, they came in off the lake, across all the private properties, down all the trail that's private, and through my backyard. That irritated me, because if you're out in the bush and you don't know whether you're on a private trail or not, that's one thing. But when you come out in the back of somebody's yard, and I've got my septic system right here, you know what? Turn around, go back through the bush. You don't come up, 300 yards of cleared, and there they went, right up, burning, ripping, right across my backyard, right across my front yard, 6 feet from my house. Rooster tails going as the kid revved his 4-wheeler like crazy. Oh, I was irritated. I jumped on my snow machine and I looked for those kids for an hour because I was going to give them a piece of my mind. I never did find them. It's probably a good thing. But ignorant, if it's one thing to ride trails and not know that you've accidentally crossed somebody's property or a boundary. Okay, but coming out in people's yard and then ripping around through their yard? And I went across the road and I was telling my neighbor, Brian, I said, I'm looking for these 2 kids. And as I'm standing there talking to him, they came off the river and they started tearing up the back of Brian's yard. So Brian hopped on his machine, I hopped on mine, but by the time I got my machine started, turned around and down the river, I never could catch up to them. That's how fast they were going. I don't know where they went. Irresponsible little shits. And what I worry about there is kids coming through the trail here. I don't have my trail cameras chained up because it's private property. There shouldn't be anyone coming through here. And there's a good chance, you know, kids coming through here and, oh, there's a trail camera. They're not going to leave that alone. They're going to take that, right? It's not chained there. So if I see them again, they'll be getting a piece of my mind to stay off these trails and out of here. Oh, here we are at the solar camera. I'm curious to see if this one is still charging and working, but I'm worried because of the snow on top of it now. No, doesn't seem to be working. So I've changed the memory card in here, cleared the snow off. Theoretically, it should start charging in the sun and eventually get enough power, if we don't stay at minus 30 forever here, that it should start charging the system. It should start working again. It's just a good experiment. I'm going to leave it here like this. Now, they do recommend to put actual batteries in here along with the solar charger in winter. They do say that in the manual. However, the solar charger here does not charge the batteries that you put in, so kind of pointless. I probably should take this home, thaw it out, clean it up with all the others, but I'm not going to, just because I want to see, will it start working again and charging on its own now that I've cleared the panel off, and once it warms up a little bit. Hopefully it's going to warm up a little bit. Can't stay minus 35 forever, right? All right, 4 trail cameras collected. Well, 3 in the bag and the one we're leaving out here. The last thing I wanted to talk to all my squatchers out there about is Grant's channel, Optimal Frequency. He does the spirit sessions. Pretty cool stuff if you haven't checked it out. It blows my mind, the answers he gets. The last 4 videos that he did were on the Albert Ostman story. Now, I have to ask myself, if Grant has this connection and this power, and he seems to get answers and questions, right, through the use of the CRISPR software and all of his setups and experiments that he does, something is answering him why he bothers with these little mysteries and tales and whatever, you know, the Ostman kidnapping by Sasquatch from the, I believe it was in the 20s. Anyway, that story is up on his channel. Check it out. It's a 4-parter. And the answer to one of the questions at the end of the video was that entertainment is very important. So that's the only thing I can think of why, you know, Grant does these. And in entertainment, hey, we're in the entertainment business here too, right? But I think my message to Grant is, why don't you get some kind of mathematical equation from these guys? If this is a real phenomenon, which I believe it is, something is interacting with him in the recorders and he's getting data and proof. Why can't they give us some kind of mathematical equation or something that Grant wouldn't know about or that humanity doesn't know about? Prove to us that you're real. But for those of you that don't care and you just want the entertainment value, check out Optimal Frequency. His last 4 videos were on Bigfoot. It's pretty cool stuff. And all the other ones he does are really cool. He gets some amazing answers. I think his channel is a cat's ass. I don't know why he can't get more than 300 views on a video. I think it's ridiculous. It's mind-blowing stuff. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go because I've got a 45-minute hike back to the house. My camera is acting up. It's so cold. I'm surprised it worked this long. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. More stuff to come right here on Unfrequented World.